living through a situation like that, you just think, well, really, I owe it to everybody who's helped me get back on my feet to do something. Now I've been patched up, I don't want to sit there and do nothing with what I've been given back, really. I wanted to use it psychologically to make me a better person, make me do more. And I guess it's that cliche of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. My name's Rob Maddison, and I am a producer and composer of music. Playing drums wasn't satisfying my lust for making music, really, and you can't exactly write songs on a drum kit. I studied to be a record producer, basically. You become less worried about the genre, so all of a sudden you listen to a much wider spectrum of music, which obviously has an influential effect. A lot of the times, I mean, it can be just something just goes in your head, you start humming a tune at night, and for me, sometimes with Revenge of Calculon and stuff, it's like I get a drum beat in my head because naturally I'm a drummer as my first instrument. It's like I could sit here and tap on my knee all I like, but no, I've got to go in and hit things and get it down. It was 2007, bad timing really. We were due to go to Japan, do some gigs in Tokyo, and obviously that just went completely out the window. But basically, I just had an incredibly rare spinal tumour, which literally ate one of my vertebrae. Couldn't move, got into hospital. By the way, you've lost, vertebrae disintegrate, which at the time crushed the spinal cord, and that was it. The rehab was great. It was kind of like put your life back together, but not be disappointed by it. Sort of. I didn't want to get out and then go, everything's just not as good as it was. It's like, you know what? Let's just make it, better, different. Use it to your advantage. Do things in a different way. Music was, even while in hospital, sort of. All my friends and people I know who are musicians, who I grew up with and things like that, Rob Uniosi, whose band I was in at the time, bought me a stylophone into the surgical ward with a pair of headphones, so I had to sit there and sort of noodle on songs. And then when I got to rehab, I got my wife Helen to bring my guitar in, basically, and I could just sit there and noodle on the guitar and get back into that. Spaceships Are Cool is very sort of quirky pop band rather than, doom and emo. So I couldn't use the experience of disability as an angsty kind of songwriting influence or a dark, meaningful kind of thing. So I used it, the quirky pop side of it, as an escape, really, sort of thing, to say, you know what, your life's trash, but lose yourself in a world of quirky electronica, You get bored of going to see a great band and they just look like they're down the pub. And you say, I don't want to see that. I don't want to pay 15 quid to see a band who are just in jeans and a t-shirt. The moment you step in a room, people are like, what's that all about? I want to know about that. Even if it's shocking, I want to know, I'm interested. It's getting into character. It's just pure theatre, really. Until I had to do stuff in a wheelchair, I had no idea how difficult things like a step, this whole, that's undoable. But what's the difference, in my mind, what's the difference between a step this big and going up a mountain? Both are inconvenient, but if you've got the support to do it, just do it. Coming from the rehab, I did see people who were, you know, at rock bottom, and you could see them going on a path that just goes down, and that way of thinking, I just thought, I don't want to do that. And so it was a bit of a can-do kind of attitude, really, or crash and burn, let's just try this, and how far can I push this before I completely, you know, mess it up. Making something, whether that be art, film, music, writing. I think if I didn't have that outlet, I'd be a deeply unhappy person, but I don't know where it comes from, really. I totally get a buzz from being on stage. When I can get on stage, that's the only thing, you know. I've done some gigs where we've supported some great artists, and it's like, I'm not actually going to be able to get on that stage to do this.
Make some noise for Maddison talking on this bitch.
I don't think it defines me in the slightest. I like to think of it as I'm a musician who just happens to be in a wheelchair. The wheelchair isn't part of who I see myself as, but the disability has obviously shaped what I do on quite a few different levels, you know.